Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a sales and marketing coach and LinkedIn lead generation service provider. I work with health, life, and mindset coaches and online service-based business owners to help them get more sales, shift their time to the client-generating activities instead of just the busy work, and overcome that social media overwhelm. Let's get into the show. If you're ready to take on your next paying clients, I have good news. My free 4 Basics of Client Attraction and How to Stand Out class is live at haileyrowe.com/client-attraction. In the class, you're going to learn the top 2 traits I recommend for most coaches and entrepreneurs if they really want to turn this into a career. You're going to learn how you can build demand for your services and stop getting crickets on your posts. You're going to learn the sales roadmap I used to improve my sales conversion rate and help my clients do the same. And you're going to learn so much more. So go to haileyrowe.com/client-attraction and get your copy of the class today. Hey everybody, today I am live with a very special guest, Veda. She is an amazing FDNP, which means Functional Diagnostic Nutrition Practitioner. And she is an expert in all things hormones and women's health. And today I wanted to bring her on because she also was a client in my Inner Circle, which is my small group coaching program that is pretty hands-on and a journey of building your wellness business and your service-based business. So Veda, why don't you just share a little bit about you and why you got into what you do, and then we'll go into some questions about your journey building your business.
Yeah, so like Hailey said, I'm a health practitioner. I'm also an integrative health coach. I have a huge passion for helping others just get to the root of their hormone and their gut issues that may be dismissed as normal by their doctors. And that's because I was on that side of things at one point in my life. I experienced a lot of health issues, from bloating to acne to constant fatigue to migraines, hair loss, literally everything you can think of I experienced. And I was brushed off as everything's normal. I was in and out of the ER, ridden on ambulances, and was always hit with, oh, nothing's wrong. It's just a virus. It will pass. And long story short, I ended up seeking out a naturopath, and through that, she actually listened to me and she heard me, and she got the right lab testing done. And in fact, everything was not normal. I tested positive for Lyme disease, and because I had Lyme disease for so long, I couldn't just go the antibiotic route. I had to basically do a 360 with my lifestyle. So I started to implement new diet habits, lifestyle habits, some supplementation that targeted the Lyme disease. And I started to feel so much better. And I was like, wow, this stuff really works. So that just encouraged me to continue to educate myself, listen to podcasts, read books about it, followed people on social media about it. And I continued to learn so much. I applied it to myself, and I really started to heal mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the things. And that's kind of what led me to my career path today, because I saw in myself that things aren't always necessarily normal, even though their doctor says that. So I'm here to encourage others the same.
I love it. Yes. And your passion is so strong. We can feel it. And I love your posts on Instagram where you share your story. And I want to talk a little bit about that transitioning of, okay, you have the passion, you got the certification, and now it's time to start a business. Surprise. So tell me a little bit about once you graduated or when you were in your program and starting to realize, okay, I have to start learning entrepreneurship. What kind of challenges were you dealing with maybe before the Inner Circle that led you to seek support?
Yeah, so I graduated FDN last December, and then I graduated IAN in February. So I officially launched my business in February. And throughout the coursing that I did, they do touch a little bit on the business side of things, but nothing too heavy. And I graduated. I was like, okay, I now have all this debt in schooling, and I now want to potentially make this my career. So I was like, where do I even start? I have the credentials, I have the degree, where do I even start from here? And I think just my first month of launching my business, I literally was like, now what? What are the next steps? What do I even do? I don't even know what what to do. I mean, you hear things on like podcasts or people talk about it, or other wellness, or not necessarily wellness, but other entrepreneurs in your atmosphere that kind of give you some tips, but you don't have that accountability, and you're still like, well, they don't know my business, they don't know my goals, so where do I even begin with that? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Okay, I'm back. So you were curious about where to start and how to navigate. And so what, obviously you found the inner circle. What are some things that you have had wins wise over the last 6 months that, you want to share?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of wins over the last 6 months, and I can't even imagine where my business would be if I didn't invest in working with the inner circle. But I've had a lot of wins. I went from working, like starting my business, not really knowing where I was going to start, to now being full time with my business. That's my only job right now. I was able to leave my other job. I've worked with roughly like 28 to 30 one-on-one clients. I feel like I've gotten way more confident in my discovery calls, in my messaging. I've been able to niche down much more, and I've realized the importance of that. Creating my signature program, being able to hire out, grow my team, hire a virtual assistant, get on podcasts, all these things that I truly wouldn't even know like that's important, or how to do, or where to even start if it wasn't for the guidance with the inner circle. And another huge thing is just the mindset. When you start a business, like, it ain't easy. I'm learning that it's probably the most personal development journey that you can go on in your entire life, because you learn a lot about yourself. And throughout Inner Circle and through Hailey's guidance, like, you really not only learn how to navigate a business and like the back ends of things, but also the mindset of how to stay positive when a client turns you down, when you're not making the income that you wanted right off the bat, or when you're overwhelmed and you have all these things to do. And she really helps guide you with that, because ultimately, if your mindset isn't set in a good place, then the back end things are never going to fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I love about working with you is that you're so coachable and able to communicate, like, here's where I'm struggling, or I know you have a great self-awareness about, like, I know I want to do all the things and I want to be all the things. And I think a lot of my clients have this theme of, we just want to be great at everything we do. We want to help our clients, and juggling that or putting that pressure on ourselves can be hard sometimes. And that's why it's good to have a community and get coached and get guidance through navigating those obstacles. And it's been so fun to see you explode with having more one-on-one clients, and now starting to think about your group program, which is super exciting. And even just, your content consistency, and starting to do more podcasts and partnerships and things like that. So how did you decide that the Inner Circle was the one that you wanted to do? Because I know there's a lot of programs out there. What would you tell someone who's like looking around, or what came up for you that led you to that decision?
Yeah, so I actually found you through another podcast, through the FDN podcast. I remember listening to it. It was just about like how to start a business, and it was in my forefront of my mind of something I wanted to do. So, and we all know about touch points. So that was like one touch point. And then I started following you on social media, and I started seeing your stuff. And then you happened to reach out to me to book a call. And I was like, okay, like, let's book a call. And this was prior to me graduating. So this was me still in my schooling. And I booked a call with you, and you were just very, like, you listened a lot on the call. Like, it wasn't just selling. It was like, no, I'm going to give you what you want, not necessarily like what my whole marketing scheme or whatever is. And I felt like everything that I needed and was looking for is stuff that you could provide for me. And you were able to like tweak things the way that you wanted to. And I just was really drawn to that. And I remember I was scared. Like, it's an investment, and I wasn't even taking this full time yet. I wasn't even working with clients yet. And here I am thinking about hiring a business coach and investing in that. And it was scary. Like, I doubted myself and I was like, can I afford this right now? I'm not making that much of an income, all of these things. But you truly have to spend money to make money. And that's something that I am realizing. And like I said earlier, my business would not be to where it is today. And I likely would not be full time if I didn't just take that route and invest in the inner circle.
That's awesome. Thank you. And congratulations to you. You deserve all the credit for doing all of that. And one of the things that I want to ask you is, if somebody is thinking about a program, like, what were some things you liked in the inner circle, whether it was, certain tools in there or the community? Like, was there anything in particular you liked about it?
Yeah. I don't know if there's something I didn't like, but I really liked how, even though it was labeled and classified as group coaching, it did not feel like group coaching. It felt like one-on-one coaching. Like, every time that I would post in the Facebook group, you were right there to respond, and your responses weren't just like a quick sentence, go look at this. Like, you would be very thorough with it. But also, we did still have that community piece of, I met some other entrepreneurs who may be dealing with the same things. I'm hearing what they're doing. And we would hop on weekly group calls, which was so helpful, but they were small group calls. So whenever you had a question, it was always going to be answered. It wasn't like, oh, we'll get to it next time. So that was super helpful. Also, the modules were really helpful, especially the pre-made handouts of just like, okay, here's an email welcome sequence, literally copy and paste and insert a few different things. That was super helpful because it takes the time out of your day of having to figure out, like, okay, how in the heck am I going to send a good email? When am I going to find time to write an email? So I think having all of those pre-made resources was super helpful, for sure. And then once again, the mindset piece, I think that was one of my favorite things, is you always asked on the call, not only, okay, what do you need help with in your business, but what do you need help with mindset wise as well?
Nice. Yeah. So what are some maybe aha moments you've had, or ways you've built? I know you said you built more confidence in discovery calls and your messaging and stuff. So tell us a little more about that. Maybe just any aha moments or things that have been more clear.
Yeah. So I think some stuff that's been more clear is definitely the niching down. That's something that I was told time and time again, but I'm like, no, I want to help everyone. Like, I'm passionate about everything, and the body's all connected. And you just really showed me that if you want to help everyone, like, you're going to help no one. Like, you need to find that pain point and you need to find that messaging. And I think working with you helped me see actually what I'm really passionate about, and not necessarily, I'm not here to help everyone. Like, there's someone out there to help in that specific aspect, and I'm here to help in this specific aspect. So that was super helpful with that. And then also, learning how to do a webinar and learning how to do a masterclass. Like, I remember the very first presentation I did, and I sent it to you, and the comments and suggestions you made are like, I would have never thought of that, but it makes so much more sense of why I would rearrange the slides or say things in a different way, or with the discovery call aspect of to try to sell them before you actually give them the price, and like to not freak out about the price and to feel confident with it, and let there be some silence before you're like, oh wait, can you not afford it? Like, hold on, let me change my mind, type of thing. So I've definitely gotten more confident in that, and then also more confident in the idea that it's okay if they say no. It's just another yes is coming nearby. And I've noticed that when I do have clients that say no after a discovery call, I'm not overly disheartened by it. I'm like, okay, another one's going to come. And you've just really taught me that business is a journey and it isn't necessarily like a destination.
Definitely not a destination. Yes, there's always more to be excited about, and also to learn and new ceilings to break. So tell me a little bit about what's something you're excited about going forward in your business, or what are you working on now? Just tell us a little bit about what's coming for you. What's exciting?
Yeah. So right now I just work one-on-one with clients, but I'm working on creating a group program. I've always been super passionate about helping people in a community-oriented way, and that's something that I've definitely been craving and missing as I work with these one-on-one clients. So that's kind of on my radar right now, something I'm working on. I'm thinking about making it more of the cycle syncing focus, women's hormones, because that's just my jam. That's something I'm super passionate about. And once again, finding that pain point, niching down with that. And my plan is just to continue to share my story, get on more podcasts, collab with more people, meet with more clients, get more clients, just continue to grow my business is the ultimate goal.
Love it. So what would be maybe if somebody's listening to this and they're like, yeah, I am where you were. I am overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. Business is not my jam right now. I'm learning it. Any words of wisdom or motivation or things you'd share with them that you wish somebody would have told you?
Yeah. If you're someone who's kind of hesitant to start a business because maybe you're scared of posting on social media or you feel like you don't have enough time, my biggest thing is if you feel like you're called to do this and if it's on your heart, like God's going to make a way for it to happen. Like it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to be. So if that truly is on your heart and something that you've been wanting to do, I think that you should just go for it. There's gonna be fears. There's gonna be mental battles that you are going to face with. And I wish someone told me that at the beginning of how hard starting a business actually is. It's not just, oh, you wake up and you're like, oh, book a discovery call with me. And then next thing you know, you're full time and you have this growing business. Like it takes time, it takes effort. But one thing that I'm still working on today and what I would encourage other new entrepreneurs is to truly take one day at a time. It is so easy to get caught up in where you want to be and you forget on how far you've come. And that's something that I'm still working on and changing my perspective on. But I think that going into your business is to keep that in mind, is take one day at a time, celebrate the small wins like Hailey always talks about, and not focus on, oh, where I should be or where I want to be. Just focus on where you are now and then grow from there.
I love it. Great advice from a real entrepreneur here, Veda. And thank you so much for being here today. And where can people connect with you?
Yeah, so they can find me. I'm mostly active on Instagram and TikTok at Wellness by Veda, VEDA. And then I also have a website, www.wellnessbyveda.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Veda. I really appreciate you. I have loved working with you. It's been an honor to see you grow over these last months. And it's only, in the grand scheme of life, 6 months is a very short time period in our life and in our business. And the amount of growth that you've had through that is amazing and inspiring, which is why I wanted to have you on the podcast. So thanks so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.